Yo ho, what's up guys? Been seeing a whole bunch of tier lists where it's like, oh, this unit is S tier, that unit is A tier, that unit is this, that unit is that. But you still don't really know what it is or where it's used for. So what you mostly see in a lot of teams is that you want to have a sound team where you do have a death breaker, you do have a DPSer, you do have a healer, you do have a buffer, and you do have something that can disrupt, right? And those are the main things that you're focusing in a lot of teams. So for that reason, I'm actually going to be putting that towards all of the units rather than, or towards the tier, rather than saying like, okay, something is S tier or something like that is not. I will be also having the tier of a unit is good, but don't use it early game. That's just going to be some for that. I will be also listing them from left to right. So I would say the one that is furthest on the left is the best one to focus on early game, and then further to the right comes the one that goes for, okay, for you guys, this is right, this is for me right, but so the one on the left is going to be the one that is the best to focus on early game, and the ones on the right are like things that you could be focusing on more later, or that just worse in that sense. But I will kind of mention that in a one-to-one translation. So the order from left to right does actually matter. So first of all, these two are bad. I would say Ashu is decent-ish, but I would say kind of bad unit. Let's make one other tier. One below. And let's make this one extra tier, pink, whatever tier. Can be good, but not really recommended. It's a niche thingy. Let's just put that on one above. You can use that, but I don't recommend that. So we have Biotin is an attack buffer, but to be honest, I think it's more of a late game unit, so wouldn't really work on that. Born DPS unit, but also more of a late game. To be honest, for the life of me, don't even know which one is which in these. So I would say, could be niche on both of them, but they're not really good. Salins, by all means, is the only one of the SSRs that are just straight drop in there. It's kind of bad. This Chiaki is a healer. It's not a great healer, but it's definitely a side character healer that you could go for. This one is the Chiaki Echo, the wind one, or the green one. She's a really good buffer, really strong attack buffer. I think I will recommend that to a lot of people. Then we have the defense breaker, Dion. We have a damage dealer as in the form of Yu. Do we go single target damage or AoE damage? No, I think we kind of keep that all together. I would say focus on ditting earlier than born. Yeah, probably. Doki Doki, good, but not early, for sure. You are also straight up bad unit, you bad unit. I think that you are more niche, you are straight up bad. This one is good, but not early on. It is a DPS unit, but it's mainly for the dot team. I wouldn't really focus on it anywhere else if you're not doing the dot team. But if you do the dot team, it's pretty good. This is a buffer, Freya. I would personally say Freya early or Chiaki the Echo early. It's kind of depending on what you want to use. Like if you're not using any other hollow elements that you're focusing on, then you could maybe get some skill ups in Chiaki the Echo where you're not going to get skill ups on the Freya. I think early game is probably better to focus on Chiaki the Echo than on that. Gray is a defense breaker. I would argue that Gray is a better defense breaker than Dion, because Dion is, if you check by elements, the only element that she has the upper hand in, which is the red one. Because Gray is just not a good armor breaker in red, and that's Aurora, so that becomes a little bit later. Heinrich is not necessarily... Yeah, I would say he's DPS, but he's also not really DPS. I would say let's place him like that. Hellkit is not... Okay, this is also buffer, I guess. But it's more of a buffer that comes more late game as well. Yeah, it's more of a... Like, the moment you get into PvP, that's... Let's maybe do that as well. Row above. Only PvP units or main PvP unit. Because I don't really feel like Hellkit should be used anywhere else than just in PvP. Like, he's kind of bad for anything else. Let's just do this one, Hellkit in there. It's a really good PvP unit, but anything else than PvP, it's not really gonna be bringing you that much. Oyan is no longer in the game, so that doesn't really help. Okay, now I would have to double check which one is which if we look at them like that, because I actually don't freaking know. Where are these? I know them by name. This one is that one, and the other one is the one where she is the cooldown reducer. Yep, okay, fair. So there's the cooldown reducer. Can be good, but don't really recommend it. CC unit, she's a decent CC unit. That's definitely one of those. How fast is your Lily? Found you in arena? Fast. Not that crazy fast, but fast. Then we have Close for DPS target. I would say he's one of the latest one you would focus on. Close as armor break. I would say that if you do have a Close, I would replace the Gray with a Close. Like any day of the week. I would straight up just insta replace that because it's just simply a better version of it for that right element. So you could say that Gray is better because of more damage, but I would say give it to this. Then if you need CC units, I would say Kraken is a higher build priority than this thing. She's still nice, but more of that. And we have Leon, of course. Leon goes all the way to the right. This is, I would say most people, whatever you build in the early game, you're going to be building Leon as DPS. Like, you're not going to get away from that one. Then we have Lily as a buffer. I would say Lily has the highest priority of buffer for sure. Lilith is a CC unit. I would... people in chat that have Lilith, would you say, can you focus on it right away? Or is it more for something that's more late game? Because it could be your CC unit for Doki Doki. Also somewhat of a semi-damage dealer for Doki Doki. But maybe it's a little bit more late game. Yeah, mid-game, late game-ish. Yeah, I would say so. So I would probably say in this order. Ling Lo for healer. Definitely up in front. Marvel for CC. I classify Marvel as CC and he goes all the way to the top by a really long shot. Like, if I could place this unit off the screen over here, I would. But yeah, I can't. This unit is absolutely... Focus your skill ups. He's the very first one to put your SR skill ups in. 100%. On the skill 3 first, but also full skill, that's skill 1. Skill 2, you don't put any in. Messiah, damage dealer, I would say kind of on this level, in my opinion. I would go for Heinrich earlier than for a Messiah, in my opinion. Mia as a healer, I would say she's definitely more late game. I wouldn't really go for that at all. Then we have this one. She is a buffer, but I feel like if you want to focus on her, maybe more like this. Like, if you don't have any other buffer, maybe go for her because she's really easy to build. Like, this is the number 41. But otherwise, I would kind of recommend to go for Shiak or this one. But if you don't have any resource for this and you didn't pull any of those, she's definitely still an option you could go for. Obo is also CC, but I would definitely say that Obo becomes pretty much on this slot. Wouldn't really go earlier. Mia's busted for cleave comes. Which one? This one? Why would it be busted for cleave comes? This one, I think she's just straight up bad. I never seen anyone use her, so I just put her in that. Then we have Rahul for DPS. To be honest, I've seen a bunch of tier lists that actually really undervalue Rahul. I think Rahul is way better than people give it credit for, because Rahul needs a very different style of set than anything else, and therefore making a good set for Rahul is just so much easier. So I legitimately say, if you pull a Rahul, he is for me easier to focus on damage than anything else. Plus, he is a really good replacement if you don't have any damage on Doki Doki. Rahul can definitely do that by itself. It's 100% fine. Strip CD, skill, and shell reset. I guess she's more of a late game. Like, you would actually have to skill her up to be good before that. So I wouldn't really focus on her that early. I would classify her over that one, though. That is true. This thing, I don't even know what the frick you do. Romocha. And Romocha is something that a lot of people are focusing on building as well. But to be honest, for me, Romocha, I think I would probably classify her as this. Like, maybe I'm undervaluing Romocha. I tried her before in the beta. She is definitely strong, but she's only strong in Doki Doki. And sure, in Terramaton, you can kind of use her, but she doesn't have the best of showcase in there. She is okay-ish in a bunch of other stages, but I legitimately feel that these 4 units have more value than Romocha in the early game. Late game, sure, she will be really good, but... Nah, I don't know. No, she's higher than... I put her higher than this thing. But it's also the thing, like, this is early game. We're just looking early game. So keep in mind, we have no investments on the SSRs, and we have maybe some investment on the SRs. So that's the thing that we're looking at. This is also a damage dealer, but I feel like she's a little bit too niche, maybe just for Aurora, so I would personally not really focus on her. This is a CC unit, I think, with taunts, but not a big fan. Rosa, okay, Rosa definitely is one of those we're talking. I think we're going to be placing Rosa in here. I think Rosa's really insane. Rosa's absolutely insane damage dealer, and that is one that, except for Terramatan, she's going to be clearing absolutely freaking everything. Also, if you have Rosa, you don't even need a Rumocha at all. We have a Sanya, and Sanya goes right over there. Sanya's still best healer in game, early game. Like, she is nerfed. Linglo is buffed, but I would say Linglo probably still needs a little bit of investment. Plus, you don't want to be pulling a Linglo until you actually pull her on the 7th day. So I would say that Sanya is best healer early game. Dark Sanya is good, but not early, but is really good. This thing is just a straight up bad unit. Tiamat. So the big question is, what is Tiamat nowadays? Is Tiamat a damage dealer? Is Tiamat anything else? I'm not sure. Oh, the drops thing exclamation mark doesn't work, I guess. That's a very old one. But yeah, where is Tiamat? She's kind of a deep... Yeah, I would say she's DPS-ish. I would probably say that she's still good, but she really needs a healer next to it. Yeah, she's kind of glass cannon DPS, yeah. I would probably say her along this line. But she needs to have at least one healer next to her. Maybe even two. I can show you how I beat the Kuro hard later. Then we have me. I guess I would say in here. She's really good in PvP, but PvE, I think she's lacking a little bit. So, for that reason, I would focus on the Shiaki the Echo before I focus on her, I think. I'm not 100% sure about that. Or would I still say me is better? What would you guys say? Focus on the me earlier or focus on Shiaki the Echo earlier? I would build everything on this side before I build the thing. Yeah, kind of. Main PvP. Yeah, I would say Shiaki is better. This is more main PvP. Let's actually put her as a main PvP unit. I feel like it's fair. I feel like it's fair. Yeah, she's more PvP related than anything. This thing kind of bad. This thing can be good, but not really recommended. This is the other healer. I would probably say in the early game this. Because she as solo healer, she's more all-round. But as a solo healer, I would rather use a Valerian. Veronica, main PvP unit. That's just a simple fact to it. Besides that, wouldn't really do anything else with her. This thing is straight up bad. Victor. I would say Victor, I wouldn't focus on him that early. Because you need single target hard damage the moment you get into the hell stages of Terramatan or in any of the hell stages of the later shell dungeons or in Aurora. That's where you need Victor. So I wouldn't be building Victor that early. So I think Victor over here, but I would still Victor over the thing, in my opinion. These two are just straight up bad. Oh, wait. Whoops, you're bad. These things, the ones that are bad, I didn't really put in any order. And this one I did put in order, but these I just didn't put in any order. This one, I would say main PvP unit, but definitely a good one. Let's also check what order I would focus these in if I were to be building those. I think personally I would go like this. No, I would go like this. This is a pretty strong thing for that. Seada is a death breaker, but personally I'm not a big Seada fan at all. Well, she's a death breaker with a bunch of other things. Victor over the thing, well, this is my bias because I have a Lily. Lily Victor is a lot better. If you don't have a Lily, then you could do this, but that's kind of up to you. Well, maybe, no. Actually, you're right. You're right. You're right because the thing is easier to build. Yeah, no, you're actually right. The thing is better because he's easy to build. 100%, I agree. Veronica is good in Terramatan. Yeah, but that's just the Inferno stage. You're not gonna need her anything earlier than the Inferno stage. So And that is pretty late game. This thing kind of ass. Then we have Miho. And I would say Miho is probably for me on this line. Not probably this line. Yeah, if I had a Miho, I wouldn't be building a Kraken. But I would still focus on Marvel first. And this thing, I would say, is probably a good strip if you don't have any other strip for Terramaton and that kind of stuff. But not early. But that is more of an estimation. Where did I put the Seada? Seada's over here. Yeah, I'm not a big Seada fan. She's kind of a strip, Deathbreaker and DPS, so she fits multiple roles, more or less. But why Marvel in front of Mio? Because Marvel's fucking easy to upgrade in skill ups. Like, I'm on day 2 and my Marvel's already maxed out. And maxed out as in max skill 3, max skill 1. I did hard focus on it. But the value that you get from max skilling this one, you go from a 10% chance to a 40% chance. You have to keep in mind in this game, if you have high enough accuracy, you can double the activation rate. So you go from a 20% activation rate to an 80% activation rate. That's a lot. And you have this skill 3, which I don't really have to explain much about. This skill 3 is just loaded and busted. Because of that activation rate, like the moment you have more accuracy than resistance, you lower their resistance as well. So all of the activation rates that you have on any of the other units that probably have no accuracy whatsoever, like your random pushback on a Lilian or whatever, is boosted by this skill over here. And that just pretty much makes her so much better. Seada literally has the biggest AoE multiplier if she is full stacked. So, yeah. How are other players level 26 right now? They are level 26 by using the... what's it called? They are using the stability refreshes from this thing. And that's what other people are not doing and what I recommend not to do. So, yeah, this is going to be my tier list for all of this. So, this is the order in which I would build the units if I had every unit in game. And I would definitely say if I were to place like all of them next to one another in one tier, Marvel is my very first focus. Lily is my second focus. Leon is my first focus for DPS, so that's also the one that you make the 6-star first. Most of the time you want to make the 6-star units your DPS units. Or the other way around, you want to make your DPS units the 6-star units. You have to keep in mind if something is contesting for the highest speed, the moment you go from 5-star to 6-star, you get another 6 speed. So if you're contesting for the fastest speed, a Marvel or a Lily on the fastest speed, or even Shakrieko, whatever you're using for speed contesting, might be interesting on that value as well. But yeah, this is going to be my list for the things that I will build in order, pretty much. Okay, just a little bit more. People were asking, it's like, okay, how do I do a certain stage? In this case, they were asking for the Kurokuro stage, or Kuroruru, whatever this thing is called. But the thing is, for that team, I recommend a DPSer. I use Leon. I have a buffer. I use Lily. I have a CC unit. Pushback unit in this case, because full CC doesn't work, but pushback unit, Marvel's just great in every freaking dungeon. That's just a simple fact. And then a Deathbreaker. So people were asking us like, oh, I don't have close. What do you do then? Well, the next one. Simple as that. That is how this tier list works. Like, okay, I don't have a Lily. What buffer should I use? The next one. Simple as that. I don't have a Leon. Well, you should have a Leon. Like, to be honest. It's the right element for that, so that's the main thing. I wouldn't go for a healer on the Kuroruru stage because you just want to deal as much damage as possible. And that's just the main thing, how a lot of these teams work. Like, most teams, like, okay, first of all, what do you need? And then you just go left to right. What do you have? What do you have built? What can you build? What unit do you have? And therefore you can fill in your teams. If you disagree, feel free to let that know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching for this one. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot. Or find me live on either YouTube or Twitch. Links in the description down below. Also join the Discord if you want to discuss more about random shit. Or just say your tier list is fucking ass. That's also an option. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. See you later. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.